It's a late night in the emergency room. A child watches as her mom is rushed into the hospital after collapsing on the floor of their home. The child looks on with sadness and confusion as a team of nurses gathers around her mom, as she now knows how close she is to losing her mom. Putting yourself in the child's shoes shows how much comfort is needed in this situation. Hi, my name is Madison Morris. I'm going to be talking about emotional intelligence and how to be able to effectively communicate with people under high stress in the medical field. There are numerous situations like these every day. Even though you may not be going into the medical field, it is still vital to be able to effectively communicate in situations like these because there are so many different emotions going on at this time due to the high stress. There is always a possibility that you may be in this situation and have to help out someone else, calm down, or understand the situation better. Due to my interest in the medical field, I understand how high stress these situations can be and how important communication is, so I decided to research ways to effectively communicate in times like these. In this important speech on emotional intelligence, I will discuss the definition and characteristics or examples of emotional intelligence and also how to increase it. There is a definition for emotional intelligence and claims about it. In an August 2007 journal written by Jon F. Burks and Ian S. Watt that dives into the emotional intelligence. Burks is a research fellow at the University of York, and Watt is professor at the University of York. They have both helped author other scholarly articles. According to Burks and Watt, emotional intelligence is defined as a set of abilities, verbal and nonverbal, that enable a person to generate, recognize, express, understand, and evaluate their own and others' emotions in order to guide thinking and action, and successfully cope with environmental demands and pressures. In addition to this definition, they also pointed out how important it is. Patient-centered care is becoming more of a focus for many healthcare systems across the world. This patient-centered care focuses on the emotional relationships of all parties involved. They realize the importance of the emotional side of the relationship and how increasing that will better the care that the patients receive and the comfort of the associated parties. Generally, the complaints against people in the medical field are about personal communication rather than the healthcare itself. This shows how important it is, even when it seems unnecessary. The patients really value the communication that goes on along with the care because it allows them to know what is going on and feel more comforted. So having good communication helps the patient and the associated parties greatly. Now that we know the definition of emotional intelligence and the importance of it, we can talk more specifically about what it is. There are many characteristics and examples of emotional intelligence. There was a November 2009 journal written by Jimmy Benjani, MD, titled Emotional Intelligence, Use in the Medical Education and Practice. According to the author, the 5 most personal skills include emotional self-awareness, assertiveness, self-regard, self-actualization, and independence. Controlling these emotions allow the worker to be able to function in every environment possible and make the best decisions with regard to the client's health. Using a healthy combination of attentive listening and emotional control helps optimize interpersonal relationships and make rational decisions. This is because emotional control allows the caretaker to be more functional in every situation possible and make more rational decisions. He states that encouragement and realistic expectations get the most out of colleagues and peers. For example, an employee that usually sells 150 bananas a month was given a goal to sell 175 the next month. He's going to strive for that goal because it's realistic. If he was given the goal to sell 450, then he would not strive for that because to him it is unrealistic and unreachable. Encouragement is positive because then colleagues know that you are on their side and rooting for them. Finally, let's talk about some ways to improve emotional intelligence. There are 5 important ways to do this. In the Harvard Business Review, January 2017 edition, Professors Thomas Chamorro-Premuzic and Michael Sanger wrote an article called How to Boost Yours and Others' Emotional Intelligence that focused on how to improve the emotional intelligence. The first way is to turn self-deception into self-awareness. People become self-aware by having an understanding of their own emotional strengths and weaknesses and not being too full of themselves. The second way is to turn self-focus into other focuses. Understanding and appreciating others' strengths and weaknesses will help allow people to work even better with others. The third way is to be more rewarding to deal with. People who are kind and friendly to deal with are much more employable and tend to accomplish more. The fourth point is to control your temper tantrums. It's important to stay level-headed because to people, that's more professional. Nobody will enjoy and keep a crybaby around, especially in the medical field where emotional stability is needed. The fifth point is to display humility, even if it's fake. This one can be difficult to some people, but you must seem humble in the working world because even if you do not believe it, this will make your leadership more effective. No one wants to help out a narcissist. Today, I have talked about the definition of emotional intelligence and the importance of it, the characteristics and examples of emotional intelligence, and some ways to improve this emotional intelligence. Even if you do not work in a high-stress environment like the medical field, if you're ever in this unfortunate situation, you now know the importance of the emotional side of all the parties involved and how to effectively communicate in this high-stress situation to better each of the parties. Being able to help out in times like these can help way more than is thought and can make an awful experience not as horrible. Being there to help can be very rewarding for you and the other parties that are involved. Thank you.